Hello and welcome to Witchy-Woo Tarot. This reading is for the twin flame soul connections out there and will not be for everyone watching. So if the message resonates with you, please let me know in the comments. And if not, feel free to check out my other videos for messages you need to hear. And remember, time, energy, and gender are fluid. Feel free to reverse roles however you see fit. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. So thank you so much to my new and returning subscribers. You guys are amazing. This is just going to be a weekly check-in where we look into the energy of divine masculine and divine feminine and see what's going on. Although we already know it's not about gender, it's about energy and obviously the balance of positive and negative polarities within all of us. So whether you resonate more with the masculine energy or the feminine energy, that's really up to you and wherever you're at in your journey. And so as we know, every journey is different, but we do have a lot going on astrologically. Mars retrograde, Scorpio retrograde, and, you know, we're about to approach eclipse season and a full blue moon on Halloween next week. We're officially in Scorpio season, so be sure to check out your zodiac readings if you haven't already. And other than that, let's just get deep into it, okay? So let's see what's going on with the masculine energy and the feminine energy and how they are intermingling for the next week. So for the masculine, we have conception. So the frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, the place where everything in creation begins. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and possibilities of this space and what we can manifest through our own focused awareness and intention. So it looks like masculine's about to birth something big. They're really starting to understand that they are the source of consciousness. They are the creators of their reality, of their life. And so I believe that the masculine's kind of getting ready to take those steps forward with intention and focused awareness, okay? So for the feminine, we have fertility. So what happens before conception? Fertility, right? You need to be fertile in order to conceive. And so the feminine, it's like the feminine has created this idea and this spark within the masculine, and now it's the masculine's turn to kind of see it through, right? And so the frequency of fertility invites us to be more open, more courageous, more creative, and more joyful than we were before. It activates the potential for something beautiful to grow from our consciousness into a new and grander expression of ourselves. So, like I said, the fertility comes before the actual conception, right? And so as we know with the twin flame journey, the feminine is who is the guiding light and the leader essentially in the awakening process, okay? Whereas the masculine energy is the authority and the leaders per se in the 3D, the feminine leads the way in the spiritual awakening, okay? And so, wow, so we have remembrance for the both. So the frequency of remembrance supports our memory of everything that we've gone through as a soul and body, providing us with valuable information and tools to flow gracefully with and in this life. So, you know, it's kind of like the both of them are coming to an understanding and remembering the reason why they're here, okay? They're remembering everything that they've gone through as a soul, perhaps past lives, perhaps just remembering who they truly are. Like I said, their purpose, why they're here, remembering the journey and the whole reason that they agreed to come here to Earth at this time, okay? To bring unconditional love to the world, to unite, to live our best lives, to create the world and the life that we were meant to live, okay? And so, very interesting. I like how the energy just kind of falls in line one after the other. So I'm going to start off with the masculine per usual, and I'll be using the I'm going to be using the Nightmare Before Christmas deck. I don't know why I just drew a blank there. So yeah, we're going to use this deck for the masculine, and then we're going to use the Halloween Tarot for the feminine. And we'll see what is going on, what the masculine is thinking and feeling, and all of the juiciness, okay? So what's going on in the masculine's conscious mind towards the feminine? What is going on in the masculine's conscious mind regarding the feminine? Okay, wow. So, you guys, we have a lot going on, but we're starting out with the Lovers. Meant to be, right? Meant to be. So I think that the masculine, we have the Four of Swords, the Lovers. What else did we have for the conscious mind? Two of Wands and the Knight of Cups. Wow. Okay, so yeah, definitely thinking about the beginning of something new with the feminine. Okay, so I will get into it, obviously. Let me just make sure I have room for all these cards. So what's going on in their heart space regarding the feminine? That came out fast. We have two. I'm probably going to get a lot because these cards are still fairly new and they like to stick together. So we have the Hermit and the Magician in their heart space. Okay. And what are their intentions? And actually, how are they viewing the feminine? Excuse me, let's get a little bit more. How are they viewing the feminine? How is the masculine currently viewing the feminine? We have the Five of Wands. Okay. And what are their intentions towards the feminine, please? What is the masculine's intentions for the feminine? Okay, come on. Come on, little deck. I know you got it in you. There we go. Intentions, the Fool. Very consistent messages throughout the weeks. And their desired outcome. What is the masculine's desired outcome with the feminine? Okay. All right, masculine. That's enough spying from you. So let's do a deep dive and see what's going on. So bottom of the deck for the masculine, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So masculine, coming to terms with their destiny, remembering who they are, understanding that this is their life path, okay, and the need for them to begin a new cycle. Perhaps this is also the masculine finally closing a cycle, because as we know, the Wheel of Fortune, it's about luck, it's about success, but it could also manifest in the negative. Just depends on where you're at on that day, right? You're not always going to be on the top. You're not always going to be on the bottom because the wheel just keeps turning, okay? And so perhaps the masculine is starting to understand cycles of life, understand that, you know, everything they went through perhaps was to kind of bring them to this point. It was their destiny. It was their path. And so again, going along with the general energy of remembrance, you know, masculine's coming to terms with why they're here. So with the Four of Swords and the Lovers, I feel very strongly that whatever this cycle was that the masculine just closed out, they're definitely healing from that, okay? They're also wanting to heal this connection. They're wanting to kind of surrender to it because the Four of Swords is a picture of someone lying, you know, resting on top of their coffin, right? So perhaps the masculine is wanting to kind of surrender and allow this to be healed and maybe brought back from the dead, maybe resurrected, because in their mind they know that this is a divine connection. They know that this was fate, this was destiny. They were brought together by the gods, by the universe. It was simply meant to be, okay? Simply meant to be. Isn't that a line in the movie? Isn't that a line from the song that they sing at the end? It was meant to be. And that's a whole part of the remembering process. Understanding that all of this BS that you guys have gone through that might have seemed like absolute hell and torture, it was for a reason. It was to birth this new this new earth, this new life. So literally kind of bursting into the 5D, okay? And now it's our job to live there permanently, okay? This is our job to bring those souls that are struggling into the 5D with the rest of us who are awake, who are aware, who are on our mission for our soul's purpose and ascension, right? And so to clarify some more with the masculine's thoughts, we have the Two of Wands and the Knight of Cups. So more planning from the masculine, okay? Conception, they're birthing this new way, this new plan, this new path that they're wanting to take. They've already made their choice. Now they're just needing to plan how to move forward, okay? We've seen a lot of planning over the last few weeks with the masculine, and for some reason, something always gets in the way, right? And so now with the Knight of Cups coming in, I think that they're fully aware that what's required is going to be like a genuine offer of their emotions. Knight of Cups is a romantic. You know, they can be a little fickle when it comes to love, but it's because of the fear of being hurt, the fear of not being accepted. So I think that the masculine is aware, like I said, they need to come forward with this emotional offer. They need to come forward in that energy and be real with the feminine. And they're just planning on the approach, okay? It's like they know it was meant to be. They know that they need to surrender. They're aware, they remember now, but you know, these type of things can be very conflicting sometimes. And with the element of the Two of Wands, there could be like a little bit of waiting, but I think it's because of the fact that they're wanting to just get this right, is what I'm hearing. So in their heart, we have the Hermit and we have the Magician. So I feel like they're a little conflicted. Okay, it's like they're conflicted between what they know, who they know they are in their heart, and who they are being told to be by society. So this is like the 3D them versus the full 5D masculine, okay? The Hermit is the energy of someone going within and awakening spiritually and enlightening from within, okay? Getting their spiritual wisdom from what they already know to be true in their soul, right? And so the Magician is the alchemist. The Magician is someone who has all the tools to make things happen. So I think the masculine is remembering who he truly is and his power, just like the Conception card, all right? And so with this Virgo energy, this Hermit energy, it's, you know, he has this kind of sneaky look on his face. It's almost like it's almost like he's putting off the facade that he's still in this energy, but deep down in his heart, he's really planning, and he's trying to manifest this connection, okay? In his heart, like I said, he knows who he truly is. And so right now, in spirit of Halloween and getting dressed up, I think the masculine is currently kind of disguising his heart right now and maybe keeping his feelings to himself about what it is that he truly wants and what it is that he's trying to make happen, okay? So he doesn't want to reveal what's truly in his heart, okay? So how does he view the feminine? We have the Five of Candles. So he's seeing the feminine. I love how she's like choking the devil in this picture. And so, you know, this card is about conflict, it's about competition. And we've been getting this energy coming up a lot for the masculine, you know, being worried perhaps that the feminine is entertaining other options perhaps, or has other options. And so this could be the energy of the feminine, you know, wanting to walk away, exploring other options, or just walking away from conflict, right? And so with this witch choking the devil, I feel like even though the masculine sees the feminine off on her own, he does pick up on the energy of conflict here, okay? He wants to resolve that conflict. And I just think that the masculine's kind of preparing himself for a battle that he won't ever have to fight. I don't think that the feminine is wanting it to escalate to that level. So with the Fool coming up as their intentions, I love this because this is just telling me that they're ready. They want this new beginning. They're ready to take a risk. They're ready to take those first steps, okay? Like I said, they are now focused and they're moving forward with intention. And so this Jack and his little dog, okay? They're moving forward. They're taking risks. They're taking leaps of faith. And some might think they're foolish, but they're moving forward anyway. And with the Page of Swords as their desired outcome, Page of Swords is a card of communication. So the masculine definitely wants to communicate with the feminine, but it's also the energy of waiting. It's also the energy of sitting back and watching. So I think that for right now, the masculine's desired outcome is to perhaps communicate with the feminine, but I think that they're wanting to do so from a place of education. I think they're wanting to kind of learn more about you, maybe kind of do a little bit more digging. And this could be them just kind of stalking you on social media, asking friends about you, inquiring about you behind the scenes. And so this is kind of the masculine's way of preparing, okay? This is how you prepare for a test. It's like studying. All the pages are students. And so the masculine's getting in that energy of getting, ready to move forward and communicate. But for right now, like I said, with his heart space being the Hermit and the Magician combined, I really feel like right now he's keeping his intentions hidden because of outside reasons, okay? And so it's kind of one of those things. When you realize the truth and you're woke and you are like, oh my gosh, this sounds so crazy, you have to remember that not everyone around you is as woke as you are. Not everyone around you is aware of what the truth really is. And so you kind of need to be careful and cautious about how you approach situations, about how much information you reveal, about how much you let people know about your personal life and what's going on in your heart. Okay, you can't give all the cards away and let everyone know your plans because, that's a sure way to see them not manifest. And so I think the masculine is secretly manifesting this connection, possibly thinking about dealing with whatever conflict this might be between the two of you, or like I said, sitting back and waiting and watching you to kind of see what you're up to, because 5 of Candles could represent competition. So I think that the masculine right now is kind of stalking you to see where you're at. If you're single, if you are dating anyone, if there's anyone else that he's going to need to compete up against. And so let's get some energy for the feminine and see what's going on in her conscious thoughts. What's going on in the feminine's conscious thoughts regarding the masculine. Okay, conscious thoughts. Wow, so we have the 9 of Wands and the Fool. What's going on in the feminine's heart space regarding the masculine? Okay, that one fell out and onto the floor. I like these cards. They're really cute. We have the 8 of Bats, so the 8 of Swords in the heart space. Okay. Anything else for the heart space or just the 8 of Swords? Okay. So how is the feminine viewing the masculine currently? We have the 3 of Cups. What is the feminine's intentions towards the masculine? Anything else for intentions? Okay. Very interesting. And what is the feminine's desired outcome for the masculine? Okay, anything else for the desired outcome? Okay. Wow, guys. Feminine. Very interesting message that I'm seeing unfold here. Okay, so bottom of the deck for the feminine, we have the Chariot. So, feminine's in the energy of in the car's running, she's kind of waiting there, she's revving it up, she's ready to go. It's like, the getaway car, right? Feminine's been ready, she's been waiting. And that's not to speak for every single feminine. Obviously, I know, like I said, everyone's on their own journey. Some feminines may not be absolutely ready. And again, that's the energy of the Chariot. So Chariot is that forward motion that that progression, right? But there's that element of pause beforehand. There's a pause because balance is needed before racing forward. Because if you take off and two of your horses are going in a different direction, you know, shit's not going to pop off the way you want it to. You want to make sure everything is kosher, everything's moving accordingly, all right? So this is the moment where feminine is like, okay, I'm ready to go. And she's like, but nothing's happening. So now what, right? So with her conscious thoughts being the 9 of Imps and the Fool. So 9 of Imps is the 9 of Wands, and that's the wounded warrior. So I think feminine's just kind of, she's getting to that point where she's like, all right, I'm doing all the work. It's really hard. I'm carrying a lot. I'm doing the damn thing. I'm persevering even though I've been hurt, even though I've been neglected, I've been abandoned, I've been betrayed. But she still keeps going, right? She's still willing to persevere. And she's persevering because she knows that she needs to trust the universe. She needs to let go. She needs to dance freely and allow herself to enjoy life and be in that naive energy. Okay, she's ready for a new beginning. Yes, she's thinking about it. She wants it. But she also understands in her conscious mind that it's not about what she wants. All of the trials and tribulations that she's faced up to this point, yes, it's proven that she's tenacious. It's proven that she's capable of enduring. But again, it's not up to her when the universe decides when the new beginning starts, right? And so for a lot of us, I know that we've been channeling that chariot energy, that getting in the car, knowing something's about to happen, knowing we're about to go somewhere, knowing that shit's gonna pop off, but not seeing it and feeling that on edge energy of like, when's it gonna happen? When's whatever I feel gonna happen? And so going from that to the heart space is the 8 of Bats, which is kind of what I just described. This is self-imposed imprisonment. This is allowing oneself to be stuck in the mind. And so for this to come up in the heart space, I think this is the feminine truly knowing deep down that she's kind of kept herself trapped this whole time. Okay? She's kept herself trapped because she's been sitting around waiting on someone. She's been sitting around waiting on someone to get it together. And so she's been like in this energy of feeling stuck. Like, well, where do I go from here? What do I do? And so I think she's realizing in her heart where she's kind of allowed herself to remain in that energy. And that's exactly why, like I said, she knows she needs to trust in the universe now. She knows that it's not really up to her. Everyone has free will, but, you know, when you're destined to be with someone, you're destined to be with them. And sometimes you need to wait, okay? And so we do have a lot of waiting energy coming up here for her intentions, but let's talk about how she's viewing the masculine. 3 of Ghosts, 3 of Cups. This is a celebration. It's a reunion. This is friendship. It's happiness. It's success. This is very endearing. It's a playful energy. And so energetically, she may be aware and seeing the masculine in that energy. She could be kind of getting messages from the masculine telepathically, 5D dreams, whatever you think, whatever you feel, whatever resonates with you. And she might be aware that the masculine's still holding on to her energetically and wanting this reunion, right? And so her intentions, we have the 7 of Pumpkins and the King of Ghosts, right? So as we know, the masculine's coming up as the Knight of Cups, right? But the feminine, her intentions are the King of Cups. And I think the feminine intends to wait on that energy. I don't think the feminine's waiting so much on her masculine, the 3D person that she considers her twin flame. She's waiting for the energy of the King of Ghosts to show up. She's waiting for the energy of someone who is going to come to her as a king, someone who's mature, someone who's emotionally mature, someone who understands their feelings and isn't afraid to communicate them. Because King of Ghosts does tend to hold back on their feelings, but not because they're emotionally immature or incapable of sharing them. It's because they don't share them with just anyone. And I think with this 3 of Ghosts, this could represent third-party situations. Not always, but I think with the past, a lot of these feminines have unwillingly been sucked into these type of situations, and instead of allowing themselves to kind of wait for that energy of the real deal. They've allowed themselves to remain stuck in these temporary type situations, these situations that didn't really encourage the evolvement of the masculine energy. All right. And so with the 7 of Pumpkins coming up with the King of Ghosts, I do feel like the feminine intends to continue to wait on that harvest. Because seven of Pumpkins is about planting the seeds and being willing to wait for the fruit, right? Working hard, but also understanding that it's not going to be one of those things that just happens in an instant. It's something that requires growth. And so the feminine, in her desired outcome, we have the 8 of Cups and the High Priestess. So for a lot of you feminines, I feel the energy of you walking away, okay? And not walking away in a, you're dead to me type way, but walking away from these third-party situations or whatever, walking away from this Knight or Page energy that the masculine keeps projecting and deciding to move towards something real, something more balanced, something that is harmonious. And so 8 of Ghosts is walking away from something that was an emotionally unfulfilling connection. So if the feminine is walking away from the masculine at this point, it's because she's planning on stepping up into her true power, okay? Because High Priestess is, it's divine feminine energy. It's raw spiritual power. It's knowledge. This is the energy of someone who is focused on their spiritual journey, focused on balance, and not focused on anything else. I think the feminine is realizing, like I said, where she has perhaps allowed herself to remain stuck in situations that were no good for her. Okay, that were toxic perhaps, or that left her feeling like wounded and scarred and burned. And so now she's deciding that, union, okay? I think she's also learning that union starts from within. So if she's seeing the masculine in this energy, this is only because they're both starting to get on the same page and remembering the real reason behind the journey, which is finding union within yourself, which is living and operating in unconditional, authentic, genuine love. And so, like I said, if the feminine is walking away from the masculine, it's definitely not permanent, okay? Feminine is just now focused on what she's willing to accept and what she's willing to walk away from. And I think that the feminine is finally starting to separate herself from the physical person and focusing on ascending in her raw spiritual power, okay? So let's get some clarity for the masculine in a few cards and see what we have. And some feminines could be walking away from other situations. And so, feminine could also be, since, twins mirror one another, feminine could also be on the same page as the masculine, wanting to reunite, being willing to wait until the feminine and masculine are both on that same page of being willing and able to be real and come forward with their emotions. But until then, the feminine's going to go her own way and she's going to focus on her spiritual journey. Because, you can't expect the masculine to evolve if you are allowing yourself to be stuck in situations with the masculine that are of low vibrational energy or that are not, exemplary of what you should be accepting as a divine feminine energy, okay? So, feminine's realizing maybe, like I said, what she's entertained. Oh God, I just cut the deck and we have the Lovers. She's realizing that maybe what she's entertained in the past, that she's worth more than that. She deserves more than that. And all of these trials and tribulations have accelerated her to this point where she's now in High Priestess energy. Okay, so let's get some clarity for the masculine. See what we have. Okay, so we have the Ship and we have the Clock Tower. And for the feminine, please. For the feminine. Anything else? Or is it just the one? Feminine's like, I said what I said. Okay, we have the Apple. Interesting. And we have the Fool at the bottom of the deck. So the Fool coming up 3 times. Okay? I really feel like the both of them are wanting this new beginning, but Feminine's no longer accepting any toxic energy. Masculine is awakening and kind of stepping into his feminine power, and harnessing that and allowing himself to create his new reality, okay? So let's talk about the masculine. With the clock tower and the ship coming on, I think that the masculine's fully aware that he could miss the boat with the feminine, okay? It's like time's ticking, and he knows that changes need to be made. He knows what's going on. He knows, right? He's aware. You don't have to sit here and tell the masculine, you need to do this or you need to do that. They're aware. They know, okay? They want to make this progression. They want to go on this journey. They want to, look, vehicle of faith, trust, spiritual path, desire, healing. They want all of this with the feminine, and they know the clock is ticking. But unfortunately, you cannot measure these journeys in time. Time is an illusion, okay? Time isn't even real. So where I was just talking about how some of us are feeling that intense energy, like something's about to happen, but we don't know what, that energy can make us feel very anxious. It can make us feel very on edge, and can be very discouraging sometimes, especially when we want something to happen and nothing's happening. It can be very disappointing, but like I said, this is definitely what the masculine wants, and they're aware that they're needing to kind of hurry it up, okay? They know. But again, slow forward movement is coming up for the clock tower too. So like I said, you can't rush the journey. You have to just accept it and embrace it for what it is. So we have the Apple for the feminine. Divine gift, perfection, paradise, prosperity, temptation, knowledge, eroticism, and sexuality. So I personally see this as the divine feminine energy, okay? As we know, Eve gave Adam the apple, right? If you want to get biblical, the apple is the beginning. It's new. It's like the new adventure, the new possibilities. And I think the feminine is understanding that that's her. Okay? She's the apple. She's the divine gift. She's the one that has the spiritual knowledge. She's the one that, it's like she's the beginning, she's the end, she's the divine feminine. Okay? And so with fertility coming up as her main energy for the reading, what more can I even say? Feminine is stepping into her divine power. Okay? She's acknowledging her gifts, and she's wanting to move it forward for her and no one else. All right, and so let's see what's going on in the Psychic Tarot as far as challenges are concerned. I will get some messages from here, and then I have a couple more decks to flip through. So let's see, what's the masculine's challenge? Okay, what is the masculine's challenge? Okay. Interesting. Okay, so for the masculine's challenge, we have intuition and fertility, which are 2 cards that pretty much came up for the feminine, right? High Priestess is intuition, and this is the High Priestess card. We also have fertility, which represents the Empress, divine feminine again. So much divine feminine energy coming out in this reading. And I think that since this is coming up as a challenge for the masculine, like I said, you know, they're planning this, they're wanting to manifest it. But I think they're very much challenged by stepping into their own divine feminine power, okay? It might be a struggle for them to listen to their intuition. They're not in that same energy as the feminine. They're the masculine, right? And so if those are their dominant qualities, it could be a struggle to come to those type of conclusions, all right? Learning to trust your intuition, seeing within, and going with your gut feelings, trusting yourself, right? And so fertility too, going along with conception, like I said, guys, I really feel like it boils down to ego, okay? I know, like I said, the masculine with the conception card, they're starting to move forward with intention and awareness now. But I think now that they know what's up, it's like they're looking at the feminine and they're like, how the hell are you so strong? How do you do this? How do you embody this energy, right? They see the feminine in this energy and they're like, oh my gosh, how do I do that? How do I be that? Well, they already are that. They just need to discover that within themselves, okay? And that's all a part of the process. So let's see what's going on for the feminine. What's the feminine's challenge? Okay. Feminine's challenge is the Two of Cups. And what else do we get? We got a bunch. Okay, so, all right. So here's the deal with the feminine. So as we said, the Eight of Ghosts, right? That's the desired outcome for the feminine. And as we know, Eight of Cups is someone leaving behind those situations in search of divine union, or the Two of Cups, right? And so it might be a struggle for the feminine because, as we've seen in previous readings, no one really compares to the masculine, right? Feminine's not just going to leave the masculine behind and go get wrapped up in some other toxic situation at this point. No, feminine's wise. She understands that divine union is not just something that you find, any and everywhere. This is something that is brought to you. It's something that's fated. It's destiny. And so she's walking away for herself because, like I said, I feel like she's just trying to focus on that union within her own self, within her own energies, okay? And so with the base chakra coming up too, feminine could be struggling a little bit with remaining positive, okay? Because this is a card about fear, worries, anxieties. So she could be a little bit in that energy of feeling blocked in her base. And, it happens. So feminines, if you're watching, be sure to clear out your root chakra, do some meditation, and don't let the stress or the anxiety or the worry of any of this get to you, okay? Because I think, too, with the Eight of Bats coming up in the heart space, I do think that part of her anxiety and worry is because she doesn't want to leave the masculine behind. Okay, she doesn't want to walk away from the masculine, but it's conflicting because it's kind of like she has to walk away from the masculine. Otherwise, she's never going to get where she's going if she keeps entertaining any of these type of situations, like I said, that she's landed herself in the past. So with the Two of Wands showing up as a struggle for the feminine too, as we said, the masculine's already made the choice. And so I think movement, choices, decisions for the feminine could be a struggle because she wants to move forward in a certain direction. But I think, like I said, she's feeling trapped. And so the only direction she can kind of go in is the direction of her own self. With Five of Pentacles coming up as well, financial and material changes, feminine could be having issues with financial stability, okay? So remember that this is also a lack mentality too. So if the feminine is struggling with perhaps needing to wait on decisions to be made, to wait on divine union, this is a reminder not to get stuck in a lack mentality, not get stuck in the negative rigmarole of doubts and fears and all of these things that go along with the base chakra, and just focus strictly on that union, okay? And so let's get some lovers oracles, and then we will get some final messages from the divine feminine and masculine energy oracle. So what do we have for the masculine? So for the masculine, we have criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. So going back to that Five of Wands. So the masculine could be kind of in that conflicting energy in their heart space right now because maybe they see potential conflict arising when speaking with the feminine. Maybe there's been conflict in the past or reason to criticize one another. Whatever those reasons might be, I feel like the masculine is going to be learning how to accept the journey for what it is, accept that what happened between the two of you happened for a reason, and stop holding any type of 3D grudges against one another, okay? So that might be a little bit difficult. And as you can see with the Hermit and the Magician, you know, like I said, that could be the conflict there, like knowing what they want in their heart to manifest, but struggling with what the 3D is expecting, okay? So just remember, like, you know, it's all in your mind. It's all a mentality. Where do you want to live? Do you want to live in that Hermit energy, or do you want to live in the Magician energy where you're powerful and you make shit happen? You know, we all have decisions to make. And so this is the decision that the masculine's making in his heart space right now, okay? But with the Two of Wands showing up in their conscious mind, like I said, I believe they've already made that choice. So let's see what we have for the feminine. Okay, so close your eyes and tell yourself that you deserve to feel joyful. You can allow joy into your life regardless of the circumstances you currently find yourself in. So, like I said, you know, feminine could be struggling with not seeing this union come into fruition. And I feel like the advice here is to allow yourself to feel joy because of what you are, of who you are, and what you bring to the table. Find joy in yourself, within yourself, and allow that union to manifest within you, okay? Because you do deserve love. You deserve to feel joyful. You deserve it all, feminine. But only time will tell. Okay? So, like I said, you can't rush the journey because time is an illusion. It really is. You can't rush it. What's meant to be will be. Just know and understand that you deserve joy, that you deserve love, and focus on that energy. Okay? Don't think about all of the things that made you feel burdened or hurt in the past. Allow those things to fall away because you do deserve a new beginning. You deserve that. So let's see what messages we have from Divine Feminine to the Masculine. What else do we have from the feminine to the masculine, please? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay, so I can't let you go even if I tried. You exist within my soul. So like I said, feminine's walking away from the bullshit that didn't work, right? From everything that hurt her, from everything that wasn't fulfilling emotionally, but with the intentions of kind of manifesting that union anyway, right? She's just going to be focusing on herself more. Also, you know, she understands, like, there's really no letting go of this connection overall, but she understands now that it's not really up to her. It's not in her hands. She needs to just trust and allow things to unfold the way that they're supposed to. Okay? I release all doubt and surrender to the divine. Well, absolutely. With the full energy, there you go, feminine. Release your doubts. Give it up. Okay? Get yourself out of this little like mummy costume you got going on here. Unwrap yourself. You're free of this, okay? It's time for you to go celebrate you and walk away from anything that was holding you down emotionally. I continue to shine my light so you can find your way home. Like I said at the beginning of the reading, the feminine is the one who shines the light for the masculine. She's the leader in the spiritual awakening. And so, you know, like I said, if you're on edge and you're like, something big's going to happen, you've been getting all kinds of signs about your masculine, you could be very close to achieving union, okay? And you just aren't really aware of it. Some of you just need to let go and allow things to play out. And it's literally right around the corner for a lot of you. And I'm on a journey of self-discovery. So, like I said, High Priestess, baby, rock that shit. Do not allow anyone or anything to stop you from discovering who you are, from finding yourself, from moving forward into your own brand new beginning, okay? You don't need someone physically holding your hand to start over. You don't need someone walking right beside you to begin again. You can do that all on your own. And that's what the High Priestess is here to tell you, okay? So let's get some messages from the masculine. See what the masculine has for the feminine. Anything else? Okay, well, I was hoping to get 4 and 4, but masculine obviously has more to say in this department, so let's read them. All right, so love is power. Love is power. So, you know, coming up into that Knight of Cups energy, I think that the masculine is realizing that the card he needs to play is sharing his emotions, sharing his love. It's not a weakness to love. It's not a mistake to show people who you are inside of your heart, okay? And the masculine is realizing that. I am never not thinking about you. So you're always on their mind, okay? Always. They're thinking about you even when they're trying to not think about you. Even when they forget they're thinking about you, they're still thinking about you. And you know why? Because you're like the narrative inside of their head, okay? That's how it works. Because you're the same soul. So you share the same thoughts. You share the same energetic frequency. It's unlike anyone else, okay? This card again, I was lying to myself about you so I could block out the pain of you not being in my life. So understandably so, we have the masculine in healing mode, surrendering to the connection. And, you know, this 5 of Candles, this conflict, they could be seeing you in that energy because they know it's what they caused. They could be fully aware that they caused this conflict. And so, like I said, they're kind of keeping an eye on you and seeing how you are, maybe to test the waters, because they're planning to move forward with this, okay? Because of you, I believe in magic, love, and destiny. And I'm hearing again, it was simply meant to be. Destiny. And we had the wheel. Lovers twice. Your light came on and woke me up. Yep. Sure did, feminine. And I'm connecting with my higher self for guidance. So, you guys, you know, it's clear to me in the cards what the masculine is after, okay? We have a lot of retrograde energy right now. Like I said, a lot going on astrologically. And with this full moon in Taurus coming up, like I said before, and I'll say it again, lots of things are going to be exposed, I feel like, in the next month and a half as we end the retrogrades and move into eclipse season. It's going to be like really powerful transformation, okay? So hopefully this reading resonated with someone, with anyone. I definitely enjoyed it. I know it was a little long, but if you would like a private reading or you would like to connect with me, please check the description box below. All of my info is down there. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. I love you, and I will see you soon. Bye.